Today, we're going to talk about the literature circle role of the connector. The connector has a very important job and one that can be very challenging for someone who does not have a lot of background knowledge on the topic. So, we're going to talk about two types of connections that we can make and helpful hints that kind of get us to be trying to connect with this character or the story. The first type of connection we're going to make is called a text to self connection. Here, we're mostly focusing on trying to relate to the character or empathize with them. So, we're going to make a connection between us and our own experiences and try to relate to the ones that are happening in the book. We want to make sure to include page numbers so we know where the connection or where the similarities took place. So when I was reading Number the Stars by Lois Lowry, there was an incident that I could connect to one of the main characters. So really when I'm looking at a text to self connection, I'm mostly focusing on experiences and emotions. So what I wrote was I can connect with Ellen in this section. She experiences the sea for the first time when she goes with the Johansons to their uncle's house. She asks many questions about the sea because she has never been there before. That's what happened to Ellen, and now I'm going to share how I relate to it. I can relate because when I was about 8, I moved to Georgia for the first time and got to experience the ocean. I remember looking at it and saying something similar to what Ellen says. It's open like this, a whole world of water, and being just as amazed as her. Because I did feel like that when I saw the ocean for the first time. It was overwhelming and just a lot to take in. And so Ellen and I shared a similar experience. So that's my text to self connection. A harder connection to make, but is very important, is a text-to-text connection. Here, we're going to make a connection between what we actually read and some other outside source, such as a book that we've read, some internet research, media report, current or past. But this is one of the most important things we do is to try to make this connection and build our background knowledge of experience and World War II information. So, again, in Number of the Stars, I have read a lot of books about the Holocaust. So, I had lots of examples that I could connect to. So, I shared one example that was actually a play that I saw. I wrote, Number of the Stars shares many similarities between other Holocaust books I've read and movies that I've seen. A few years ago, I saw the Diary of Anne Frank play that Linmar put on. And I referenced the book, but really it's the play and the book share two characters. Their main characters are both Jewish. They are in hiding from the Nazis and depend on other people to help them. Anne Frank depends on her neighbors and friends to come deliver food and to keep the attic location a secret. Ellen depends on Anne Marie and her family to deliver her safely back to her parents without revealing her Jewish background. I know that the Diary of Anne Frank does not end happily because I've seen the play, and I'm worried that the ending of this book might be the same, which would be very sad if Ellen gets caught by the Nazis. So, but I'm trying to connect between the two pieces I've read to try to paint a better picture of what's happening in my character's story. Now, you can connect in many ways. It doesn't have to just be a book, but it has to be some sort of external source. If you don't know something, it's a really good idea to Google if your book is about specifically a Hitler Youth or about a Jewish person in hiding, to maybe do some research and see what the internet has to say and then make a connection on it.